Hello. Okay, so I wanted to start off this video by letting you guys know that I do have a new investigation video coming up. Now, this investigation I did with my friend, and her and I found some very interesting evidence, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. I just have to get some stuff together as far as getting the video ready to post, and also it might take a little bit to get it all together, but just stay tuned because that is coming up. So I, of course, am going to be doing my Spirit Story Saturday today, which I plan to, of course, do every Saturday, where I share an experience that I've had, which I've had plenty. And this one in particular is all about spiritual dreams. Now, a lot of people believe that dreams have a lot to do with spiritual type activity. Some people believe that spirits can come to you in your dreams with messages, whether it's loved ones, or even, signs and premonitions, so to speak. I myself have had quite a few what I believe to be spiritual dreams. A couple of the ones that stand out the most to me would be, for example, when my mother's boyfriend came to stay with us for about a week. During this week, I had a couple different dreams that I feel are spiritual. One of the dreams was when I was on the property that he does live on that I used to live on. A lot of people have, you know, reported spiritual activity on this property that I used to live on and that, again, he currently resides on. So, in my opinion, I feel like him coming to stay with us for a few days, he brought that spiritual energy over with him. So, in this particular dream, I was on the road of the home that, he lives in, and I was on one side of the road, and it was mostly farmland. Now, back in the day, it supposedly was. However, now it's, houses, and it's a small neighborhood. So, in my dream, it was mostly farmland, but the house was still there and a few other houses. And I was on one side of the road. On the other side of the road was a boy, and he was in old-time clothing, and I could see him from behind, and he was doing a very weird swaying type dance, and it was really creepy. I remember I turned around to walk the other way. When I turned back around to kind of peek over my shoulder to see if he was still there, he had stopped doing this weird swaying dance and was just turned facing me now, just standing there staring at me. That's really about all I remember from that particular dream. That just kind of stuck with me. Now, another dream I had within, the same few days that my mother's boyfriend came to stay with us was I was in the backyard of the house, and there was a little girl in the dream with me. Now, I don't know this little girl in real life, but in my dream, I knew she was my cousin, and she was leading me to the very back of the yard where the creek is, which, if you guys seen my first investigation video, it was of this property that I'm talking about, and this creek. So she pointed into the creek, and when I looked, out from the side of the ground stepped a shadow figure out of the side of the ground, and it looked to be the silhouette of a female. And that's all I pretty much remember from that dream as well. So it's interesting to believe that my mother's boyfriend coming to stay with us for a few days, he could have brought over that spiritual energy, just because if you think about it, within those few days I had a couple different dreams that were both spiritual and both of the same property. So obviously I'm one of those people who do believe some dreams can in fact be spiritual. And those are the reasons I believe those dreams are more spiritual than just normal dreams. And then I've always had dreams that I believe to be spiritual, whether they're on the darker side or dreams just like that, to where it's kind of, you gather your own evidence to suspect that it is spiritual. And then also sleep paralysis. Now, a lot of people have reported sleep paralysis. A lot of people believe that it's just natural causes, and a lot of people believe that it's spiritual. I believe it could be both. And I have only had one experience of sleep paralysis my entire life, which is kind of odd. I've only ever had it one time. And in this episode of sleep paralysis, I was laying next to my boyfriend and I was trying to get to sleep. I remember all of a sudden I wasn't able to move. I had my eyes shut, so I did not see what some people report as seeing dark silhouettes and dark figures as a result of the sleep paralysis. I just could not move. I kept my eyes closed, but I did hear the voices. A lot of people report hearing voices during sleep paralysis, and I heard my mother, my sister, and my boyfriend all talking. Now, I thought because I heard my boyfriend's voice, in my mind, for some reason, I thought he was laying next to me just talking to me. And so I began making like groaning noises like you would make if you were, having a nightmare or something. So maybe he would shake me awake so I could get myself to move. So finally, when I was able to get my body to move, I looked at him and he was asleep. So he had not been talking to me. It was just me hearing voices of people I know as a result from me having sleep paralysis. So obviously it was kind of a memory that stuck with me. It was really scary when you're awake and you can't move your body. I'm not going to say that it's definitely paranormal. I just think it's quite possible that you never know. I mean, it could be natural and spiritual. It could be both. So I myself have had several dreams that I do believe to be spiritual. I've had that one incident with sleep paralysis. I just think that there's a lot in this world that's very unknown, and that it's exciting to try to, think on it and try to discover more and want to learn more. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So speaking of wanting to discover and learn more, like I said in the beginning of this video, I do have a new investigation coming up. I will be posting. I just have to work out the kinks in the video and get it ready to post and in the most interesting way for the viewer possible. We did find a couple interesting things, and I'm really excited to share them. So just stay tuned and keep watching, because I have much more coming as far as investigating and my Spirit Story Saturdays. And then, like I always say, feel free to comment any paranormal experiences and just keep watching, and I hope you guys just keep enjoying and just stay tuned.